Introduction. Welcome, friend, to a journey of discovery and improvement. Becoming more productive doesn't have to be a dry, grueling process full of endless spreadsheets and soul-sucking seminars. It can be fun, engaging, and even, dare I say, hilarious. If you're looking for something as dull as watching paint dry, regular Monday morning meetings, or day-old toast, sorry to disappoint, but this isn't your grandma's guide to productivity. This book, my awesome reader, aims to add a dash of spice and a whole lot of pizzazz to your quest for enhanced productivity. No more uninspiring lectures or yawn-inducing guidelines. We're doing it with chutzpah and style, but watch out, no buckle-ups or strap-ins allowed here. The only requirement is an open mind and a willingness to laugh while you learn. Picture yourself as the superhuman productivity machine you always aspired to be, seamlessly balancing your responsibilities, effortlessly ticking tasks off your to-do list, achieving more than you ever thought possible. Now, imagine achieving all that with a smile on your face. It's possible, and this book will show you how. Ever wondered what's the real essence of productivity? Well, it's time to dive right into that in Chapter 1. We don't want you to merely parrot off definitions. Instead, we're going to delve into your unique meaning of productivity, brushing off cookie-cutter perspectives. Following, we aim to unpick the sophisticated tapestry of your brain and the subtle yet profound link it has with productivity in Chapter 2. If you've ever thought mastering your brain was a Herculean task, be prepared for some myth-busting actions. The wonders of the human mind are about to get deconstructed in the simplest form for your understanding. The productive mindset, the golden ticket to the candy shop of efficiency and accomplishments. Chapter 3 introduces this concept, along with real-world examples of success. Get ready to tap into the power of a positive and dynamic outlook on your life, work, and everything in between. For all the road warriors of the productivity highway, Chapter 4 holds the keys to eliminating your obstacles. Procrastination, distractions, or anything else sabotaging your progress. Consider them busted. A practical and entertaining guide to crushing those annoying speed bumps on your highway to productivity town. That's the spirit of Chapter 4. Got time? Of course you do. Only question is, are you managing it like a boss? Chapter 5 of this riveting ride on the productivity roller coaster takes you into the heartland of time management. You'll learn how to work smarter, not harder, and maybe, just maybe, find time for that pottery class you've been dreaming of. In this digital era, things can get quite chaotic without the right tools. We'll help you turn that chaos into a beautifully orchestrated symphony with Chapter 6. It's indeed going to change the way you view project management and productivity tools. Be prepared to embrace the digital aids that'll transform your productivity journey. Up next in Chapter 7, we delve into artificial intelligence, AI, in the realm of productivity. AI may sound like a subject fit for rocket scientists, but we promise no PhDs required here. We will uncover the power of AI in enhancing productivity and the astounding tools that can be utilized to supercharge your productivity. While we're focused on ramping up productivity, we can't forget about maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Chapter 8 dives into this all-important topic. Remember, burning out is not a badge of honor, and healthy boundaries are key to sustainable success. So, here we are, at the starting point, ready to embark on this enlightening and fun-filled expedition to the pinnacle of productivity. This journey will be dotted with humor, loaded with actionable strategies, brimming with effective methods, and peppered with simple, easy-to-understand advice. Moving forward, your life is about to see a revolution of productivity, time management, and creative prowess. You are standing at the podium of a potent transformation. No more aimlessly wandering, always busy but getting nowhere. This narrative is set to change. So let's turn the page, shall we? Boredom, begone. Productivity, here we come. Chapter 1. Defining productivity. Okay, let's have a heart-to-heart chat. If you've ever muttered the phrase, "I didn't get much done today," you're not alone. It's commonplace to associate productivity with the completion of a gazillion tasks at breakneck speed. But let's break it down, shall we? Productivity isn't about crossing off 1,000 items from our to-do list or pulling all-nighters to exceed our targets. It's not about running around like headless chickens trying to clone ourselves to get more done. No siree. In essence, productivity is about doing more with less. It's about squeezing the juice out of our daily 24 hours, making every tick-tock count. It isn't merely about doing more things, but also about doing the right things effectively and efficiently. Now that doesn't seem as terrifying as those all-nighters, does it? With this set definition, we can start to untangle the rest of how your productivity might look, feel, and deliver. Stay tuned and you'll find out. Defining your own productivity. So you've arrived at the crossroads named Productivity Street. One way leads to frantic hustle, marathon workdays, and burned-out weekends. Not so enticing, right? The other path looks a little sunnier, filled with rewarding work, time for rest, and more importantly, space for things that matter. Now isn't that more like it? Here's the kicker. You get to decide your route. You are the driver of your own bus. When we talk about defining your own productivity, it's all about defining what productivity means to you, without letting external pressure dictate the course. Some folks might think productivity means cranking out 10 work hours a day, 7 days a week. Me? I like to mix a fair amount of dancing, a dash of cat snuggling, and some serious time with a juicy novel into my productive day. Why's that, you ask? Well, productivity isn't simply about executing a maximum volume of tasks. It covers the entire gambit of professional tasks, personal goals, and everything in between. It's about doing what you need to do, and also doing what you love to do. Because when you love what you're doing, you're already winning half the productivity battle. I know it's challenging to carve your understanding of productivity when society is constantly blurting out its version like a broken record. But don't fall into the comparison trap. What might work for Sally at the accountant's might not work for Joe in software. And just because Joe works at 3 a.m, he's strange like that, doesn't mean you should too. You've got to wrestle your own productivity gremlins to the ground and fashion a routine that works for you. Okay, so how do you do it? How do you defrost the frozen pizza that is your productivity? It starts with knowing what you value, figuring out what truly matters to you, what goals set your heart racing, what tasks fill you up rather than drain you. Once you have a clear idea of what you cherish, you can gear your efforts towards those passions. Ensuring your productivity path brings joy, and not just a paycheck, will provide lasting motivation for some serious task crunching. Speaking of task crunching, remember there's no need to act like a pro-level Jenga player, pulling out an endless string of tasks and piling them high. Productivity is not an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's more like tapas, small but impactful portions. Choose your tasks wisely and value quality over quantity. This will help prevent burnout and keep you engaged and enthusiastic as you work through your day. A crucial piece of advice here. Do not disregard your well-being while defining your productivity. Productivity realms should and must include time for relaxation and rejuvenation. Laughing at sitcoms, playing your favorite tune on the saxophone, or simply watching raindrops race down the window. All these are valuable facets of your productivity. They recharge you, keep your mood up, and indirectly contribute to your work performance. Just remember, don't let your teetering pile of tasks turn into the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Be prudent in accepting responsibilities and learn to say no sometimes. As they say in the productivity folklore, every yes to something is a no to something else. Your definition of productivity should morph as you grow, evolve, and change. Understand that your scale of productivity will fluctuate, and that's perfectly all right. It's a river, not a locked vault. You should feel empowered to alter your approach or redefine your productivity goals as your circumstances or aspirations change. Flexibility is the key. Now let's whip this lesson into a neat little banana split. When you're defining your own productivity, remember it's a personal journey that's bound to be as unique as you are. Your productivity should align with your values and passions, ensuring that you're investing time and efforts into tasks that actually mean something to you. Pleasure derived from work, a mindful approach, and taking care of one's well-being are key ingredients for sustainable productivity. So, if you find yourself stuck in the virtual conundrum of what constitutes productivity, remember to be kind to yourself. Define your productivity in ways that generate joy and fulfillment, along with the sense of accomplishment. After all, real productivity is not just about doing more, it's also about being more. Embarking on a journey of defining your own productivity can be an exciting thrill ride. And remember, there ain't no thing as the right way. So pop on those explorer caps, folks, and start discovering what makes your productivity clock tick. It's time for Command Z on the traditional, one-size-fits-all view of productivity. And hey, who knows, your version of productivity might even include a bit of salsa dancing. The psychology of productivity. So we've laid the foundation by exploring the definition of productivity. Winter is not coming, but my friends, we're about to dive headfirst into the thrilling saga that is the psychology of productivity. Sit tight, we aren't bringing in Freud's voodoo stuff, but we're about to unwrap how your mental processes can impact your productivity big time. No leather couch necessary. Productivity is truly a state of mind. Imagine your brain as this eclectic cafe, with neurons as quirky baristas. They're taking orders, information, brewing beverages, processing, and delivering one piping hot latte of task completion to the customer, you. The difference between a top-notch barista and the one who always seems to miswrite your name, that's psychology. It's about how well your mental baristas can take and process orders under changing circumstances. Beyond the caffeinated analogies, the psychology of productivity rests on 3 pillars: motivation, control, and well-being. I call it the Jedi Alliance of productivity. No lightsabers though, just lots of mental prowess. Motivation is your why, that oomph behind your actions. Ever notice you're unstoppable when you're passionate about something? That's motivation in its dress blues. It fuels your commitment and perseverance. Without it, your productivity is like a car missing its engine. Next up, we have control. Think about it as being the master of your own universe, or at least your schedule. Even when there's chaos around you, the ability to manage your time, tasks, and decisions can keep the productivity engine humming like a well-tuned guitar. Control is the hero with understated charm in the productivity movie. Then we have the unsung hero, the pillar of well-being. Have you tried to concentrate on an empty stomach or after a sleepless night? Yeah, not fun. Good physical and mental health is like a dependable sidekick that ensures your brain can perform at its best. It's the Robin to Batman, the Samwise to Frodo, the Chewbacca to Han Solo in this grand productivity saga. But it's not all rainbows and unicorns in the land of productivity. We've got some Darth Vaders and White Walkers to defeat. Don't fret, you're not the first one to encounter them. Trust me, one notable thorn is procrastination. The sweet lure of just 5 more minutes on your favorite social app, or the sudden urge to deep clean your refrigerator instead of working on that project. Procrastination can be a real productivity buzzkill. Distractions and multitasking can also awaken the dark side of productivity. They may seem harmless or even efficient, but they're as tricky as a Jedi mind trick. They divide your attention and drain your energy, recapitulating the infamous productivity villains. The psychology of productivity also reveals the importance of frameworks. Patterns and routines can help routinize decision-making, reducing mental effort and creating a sense of control. Plus, who doesn't love a good rhythm to move along? Now you might be thinking, great, I've got motivation, control and well-being encouraging me, and that nasty procrastination, distractions, and the lack of routine trying to pull me down. But who wins? This, my friend, is not about some colossal battle, but more about harmonizing these elements. It's your own superhero movie, and you're the star. Leverage your inner Jedi motivation, control, and well-being to triumph over the dark forces. Just remember, folks, even Yoda had to train. So be patient, young Padawan. Understanding the psychology of productivity is a step toward mastering your journey to ongoing productivity. Until then, may the psychological force be with you. Chapter 2. The Mind-Productivity Connection. After learning what productivity means, let's dive into the mega-lucid bond between your noggin and your productivity. So, imagine this. Your brain is a bustling Broadway director, weaving together every design, song and scene of the entire productivity show. If there's disarray behind the scenes, the curtains open to chaos, right? That's kind of what happens when your thinking cap is overwhelmed. Believe it or not, those squishy spaghetti noodles in your skull are responsible for how productive you are. Your mindset, just like a demanding backstage diva, plays a marquee role in how efficiently you can get things done. It's like that trusty backup singer that sets the tune for the entire performance. The minute you start seeing things from a growth perspective and begin treating problems like puzzles waiting to be solved, you'll set the stage for one heck of a productivity show. Seems mind-boggling, we know. But stick with us, and we'll unravel every layer of this complex yet incredibly glamorous mind-productivity connection. Understanding the brain at work. We've all got a big, sophisticated brain sitting right up between our ears. Yep, it's there, even when it doesn't feel like it on Monday mornings. But how exactly does this 3-pound lump of jelly inspire us to action? Let's delve into the amusing yet fascinating world of our brain at work. Ever wondered why we find it so effortless to recall the words of Bohemian Rhapsody? No judgment, we all have our moments. Yet can't remember where we left our keys. This is the magic of our memory at work. Different types of memory, from short-term to long-term, play vital roles in our productivity. They selectively store and retrieve information, allowing us to make connections, understand new concepts, and yes, even sing along to Queen. Ever been stuck in traffic, and then out of nowhere comes this mad creative idea? Well, that's partly because our brain loves downtime. When you're doing seemingly unproductive tasks, your brain slips into a lovely and lazy state called the default mode network, DMN. This is your brain's playground, where it processes past experiences, plans for the future, and spawns creative ideas. An idling brain, it seems, is the universe's way of preparing us for productive work ahead. However, productive as it is, the brain can be a bit of a drama queen too. It reacts to stress like a cat to water. When we are anxious or stressed, our fight or flight response kicks in, redirecting resources away from cognitive functions to physical response systems. Simply put, when you're stressed, your brain prioritizes fleeing from a saber-toothed tiger over brainstorming your next big business idea. Thus, stress management is key to keeping the brain happily productive. Meanwhile, the brain's reward system makes us tick. This bundle of joy releases neurotransmitters like dopamine when we achieve something. From nailing a presentation to annihilating our to-do list, these components work like a slot machine dumping a jackpot of coins, and it feels fantastic. So, by structuring our tasks in a way that allows us to feel the rush of achievement frequently, we can keep our brain's reward system in active mode, boosting our productivity. Now here's a fun fact. Our brains need to recharge, just like your smartphone, and it does so when we sleep. Good sleep enhances memory and mood, encourages creativity, and even reduces the risk of burnout. So, if you're wondering why pulling an all-nighter leaves you feeling as productive as a flat tire, you've got your answer. Just as your morning coffee gives you a little jolt, various external stimuli influence the brain's cognitive functions. Light, sound, ambient temperature, each play a notable role. An environment that's too hot, too cold, too loud, too quiet, or too dark can send your brain off on a vacation, leaving you less productive than a sloth on Sunday. Still, adjust these external factors, and voila, your brain becomes as busy as Times Square on New Year's Eve. Certain internal factors also run the brain's productivity show. Our brain has an internal clock called the circadian rhythm, which regulates our sleep-wake cycle and influences our energy levels throughout the day. Our peak productivity periods generally line up with the highest points in our circadian rhythm, so figuring out your rhythm could be like finding your own secret productivity source. Motivation, a quintessential element of productivity, lies in the interplay between various regions of the brain. It's a perpetual game of tennis between the part that seeks rewards, prefrontal cortex, and the one that avoids effort, anterior insula. We are more likely to dive into tasks if our brain determines that the potential rewards outweigh the effort. Consequently, breaking down tasks into smaller, manageable chunks can help trick our brains into seeing more reward with less perceived effort. It's also crucial to talk about the naughty little monkey in your brain, the default attention network, which is responsible for our mind-wandering habits. When you unintentionally drift into daydreaming about Poncho, the three-legged chihuahua from next door, during your critical business meeting, you have this neural network to thank. Research shows that reining in this daydreaming little monkey can enhance focus, thereby upping the productivity ante. while optimal productivity requires the brain enabling us to focus. Multitasking, however enticing, is the bane of our cognitive abilities. Sure, we think we're pulling off a Schwarzenegger in Total Recall juggling tasks like a pro, but in reality our brain just ping-pongs between tasks, ricocheting our efficiency out the window. Sequentially tackling tasks fosters productivity. Moving down from the brain, the mind-body connection is not woo-woo science. Physical activity releases chemicals like endorphins and serotonin that make us feel better, known as the runner's high. Even small bouts of regular exercise can keep your brain energized and ready for action. We also need to feed the brain correctly, like giving premium gas to a luxury car. Nutrients from what we eat affect brain health and functionality, so maintaining a balanced diet can fuel our brains and bolster productivity. To master the art of productivity, understanding how this fantastic organ, the brain, works, is an essential step. Like a quirky superhero, it has its strengths and its eccentricities. So, let's make friends with our brains, shall we? If we can comprehend, embrace, and leverage how it functions, we can enhance its productivity. Choose brain power. Choose productivity. Oh, and next time you can't remember where you put your keys, just remember, there's a good chance you were too busy crafting the lyrics of your next Bohemian Rhapsody. Carry on, wayward brains. The role of mindset in productivity. So you've got an understanding of what productivity means, and you're all psyched up about the connection between your mind and productivity, right? Excellent. Let's dive deeper now into this thing called mindset. You see, it really matters if you're looking to squeeze productivity out of your daily life. It plays a bigger role than you might initially think. Your mindset is like the steering wheel of your brain's productivity ship, let's call it that. It guides, moves, and directs the course. Move left, you've got an abundance of productivity. Veer right and whoops, there are some productivity icebergs to sneak around. Now there are two main types of mindsets that you can house in your brain cabin. A fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Those with a fixed mindset tend to believe their abilities and skills are static. They're either good at something or they're not. End of story. That's like sailing a ship and saying, guess we're stuck with this rickety old boat. Then you got your folks with a growth mindset who believe everything, and I mean everything, can be improved. They see their abilities not as fixed, but as muscles to be exercised and grown. It's like upgrading your beat-up boat to a sleek, fancy yacht. That's an upgrade, right? Naturally, the type of mindset you embrace will impact your productivity profoundly. Who would have thought, huh? Imagine the fixed mindset folks. Their motivation levels aren't quite high because they essentially believe they're stuck with what they've got. Their productivity seldom reaches its potential. It's like being stuck on that rickety boat in the middle of an ocean, limited by their own belief. By contrast, the growth mindset folks are ever pushing boundaries, learning, developing, and hey presto, increasing productivity. They have a never-ending drive to turn rickety boats into yachts, and that drive fuels a lot of productivity. Now, are you thinking what I'm thinking? How can I get my hands on such a mindset, right? Fair enough. Realizing that you possess the capacity to change and improve is the first major step. Recognizing that thoughts and actions aren't merely results of traditional intelligence, but can be influenced by effort, strategy, and constructive feedback is pretty much a game changer. That's the stuff of a growth mindset. Remember, slipping into negativity or pessimism, the prime sidekicks of a fixed mindset, can be easy, especially when dealing with challenging tasks. It's like viewing the ocean as an insurmountable obstacle, rather than a majestic body of water ready for exploration. Rethink and reframe those negativities into positive, growth-oriented thoughts. Aim for adaptive responses instead of engraving a defeatist attitude onto your brain plaque. Productivity isn't about working harder and harder, people. It's not about spending countless hours slaving away without a sliver of joy or satisfaction. No, productivity is working better, cleverer, and more effectively. It's about achieving more in less time by leveraging that brilliant brain of yours. And guess what? That's where your mindset comes in. Mindset is both the key to unlock and the fuel to fire your productivity engine. It determines how you interpret situations, react to challenges, and bounce back from failures. Yes, a growth mindset embraces failures too. It sees failure not as a catastrophe, but as a golden opportunity for learning and improvement, a speed bump on the productivity motorway, if you will. Swapping from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset isn't like flipping a switch, though. It takes time and dedication, but oh, it's worth it. Picture yourself on that sleek yacht out in the open sea with a cool breeze, gently stirring up the ocean waves. That's productivity at its finest. The takeaway here: your mindset matters a whole bunch when it comes to productivity. So nurture it, grow it, and watch it transform your everyday into an adventure filled with the fruitful benefits of enhanced productivity. Grab the steering wheel of your brain's productivity ship and set course for new, promising horizons. To wrap this all up, think of your mindset as your productivity chauffeur. A growth mindset with its boundless potential and limitless visions is like a skilled, experienced driver. Buckle in for an adventurous ride to increased productivity. Chapter 3. The Power of a Productive Mindset. Phew, it's a challenging ride, isn't it? Let's talk about mindset, the behind-the-scenes superhero pulling all the strings. You see, your mind is like a gardener, and your thoughts the seeds. If you plant and nurture seeds of productivity, you'll reap the fruits of effectiveness. Let's say your brain is pulling the late-night shift in the donut factory while you're catching some Z's. The dough of your thoughts is diligently being piped into the sizzling oil of your subconscious, creating the mouth-watering donuts of your daily actions. Got it? Good. So it's vital to pipe the right kind of dough in there, lest you wake up knee-deep in maple bacon when you were aiming for classic glazed. So, here's the deal. You've got to cultivate a productive mindset, watering it, feeding it, and coaxing it out of its shell. It's no easy task, but it's certainly worth it. And to sweeten the pot, I'll show you some real-life applications of a productive mindset, demonstrating just how impactful and transformative this stuff can be. It's not just yakety-yak, I promise. Cultivating a productive mindset. Preparing your brain to be productive is like going to a stand-up comedy gig with Steve Martin. You have to loosen up, allow yourself to laugh, and then brace yourself for impeccable timing. You know you're going to be entertained, but there's an underlying serious art to it. That's shaping yourself a productive mindset. It's light and enjoyable, yet thought-provoking and efficient. And the best part is, you are the Steve Martin of this gig, leading your own performance. Your mind believes what you feed it. Feed it beneficial thoughts, and you'll reap benefits. Let's look into it in depth. Your brain is like Play-Doh. Imagine if you could mold it into any shape that suits you best. Pretty neat, right? So molding your grey matter into a productive mindset means shaping it to tackle tasks, solve problems, and work efficiently. To jumpstart this journey, you first need to figure out what productivity means to you personally. What? Did you think productivity was a one-size-fits-all thing? Plot twist, it's not. Your ideal productive state might look like a multitasking extravaganza to some, or could be a slow one-task-at-a-time movement. The beauty of this personalization is that it allows you to design your journey made as per your needs. After you've found your personal definition of productivity, it's time to embrace a potent weapon: optimism. Bad days happen. Don't let them pull you down. Remember that even the best performers have off days. Look at it this way: a little sprinkle of optimism in your morning coffee can make a world of difference. A positive mindset can often tilt the wheel of productivity in your favor. Next up, building resilience is like developing a mental six-pack. When setbacks try to punch you in the gut, bam, you've got solid abs to absorb the blow. Resilience is vital because it's not about if things will go wrong. It's about when. So, like a well-prepared stand-up comic, learn to roll with the punches and bounce back stronger. Then, address your fear of failure. What if I told you that failure can be the best teacher ever? Instead of running away from it, invite it over for coffee. Each failure is an opportunity to assess, learn, and improve. In short, cultivate a mindset that clasps failure, kisses it on the forehead, metaphorically of course, and says, "Thanks for the lesson." You just need to remember to learn from it and not get stuck dwelling on it. While we are at it, let's debunk a myth about perfection. Perfection is like a unicorn. Sure, it sounds incredible, but the reality is, it doesn't exist. Instead, aim to be amazing at what you do. Get comfortable with good enough. Pro tip: instead of chasing perfection, chase progress. Next, let's talk about setting realistic goals. Goals are like GPS coordinates for your productivity journey. Detailed, attainable, thoughtful goals make your productivity path more straightforward and manageable. The trick is to be realistic about what you can achieve so that you're setting yourself up for success, not disappointment. Another underrated but fabulous tool in cultivating productivity is saying no. Yes, the two-letter word has immense power. Overcommitting yourself is a surefire way to reduce efficiency. So be like an exclusive club with a strict door policy. Say yes to the tasks that are essential and worth your time, and drop a no thank you to the others. The power of routine is phenomenal too. It's the secret sauce that spices up your productivity. Think of your routine as the act of laying down tracks for a train to run on. With predictability, you can streamline your tasks, minimize decision fatigue, and bolster your productivity. Finally, remember to celebrate your wins. A productive mindset isn't all about efforts and no fun. Don't forget to appreciate the milestones you've reached, no matter how small. Celebrating wins boosts morale, motivates you, and makes the entire productivity journey enjoyable. Developing a productive mindset isn't a one-and-done deal. It's more like improv comedy. You keep tweaking, adjusting, and perfecting as you go along. It's about training your mind to remain focused, dedicated, and flexible to navigate the complexities of work and life as a whole. Cultivating a productive mindset is a game changer, fellas. It's about fine-tuning your brain to work smarter, not merely harder. It's about setting the stage to put on the performance of a lifetime every single day, where you are the protagonist, scriptwriter, and director. So gear up, embrace that mindset, and let the show begin. Remember this, mastering productivity is like a stand-up comedy gig. It requires art, skill, and a robust, positive mindset. Now go, unleash your inner Steve Martin, and rock the stage of productivity. Whether you're going solo or part of a team, embracing a productive mindset is fundamentally about creating an environment for success in whichever arena you operate. And as we all know, a change in mindset could be the crucial first step in achieving our wildest dreams, starting now. Ready to embrace your productive mindset? Let's get this show on the road. Cases of success, a productive mindset in action. Now that we've talked up the concept of a productive mindset, let's unpack some real-life instances and see how it can bring about transformative effects. We'll travel through a treasure trove of tales showcasing individuals who've harnessed the power of productive thinking and witnessed the profound changes it spurs. First up on our roster is Thomas. Thomas was a chap who was always fighting the clock. There never seemed to be enough hours in his day for his hefty workload, not to mention his hobbies or personal time. He was operating on red alert, but his productivity was relatively level. Thomas started by cultivating a productive mindset, refocusing his energies on creating rather than fretting over time constraints. He utilized one simple hack. He viewed time as a resource he could manage, rather than a foe to battle with. Weeks after shifting his perspective, Thomas noticed a significant bump in the tasks accomplished and the quality of his output. By mastering his mindset around time, he managed to turn the tide on productivity and wave goodbye to stressful showdowns with the clock. Next, meet Emily, who ran a small business and struggled with prioritizing tasks. She was swamped, jumping from one task to another, never knowing which required immediate action and which could wait. Emily decided to bed buddy with a productive mindset. She embraced the idea that the key to efficient work was mastering the art of prioritization. Emily employed methods like the Eisenhower box, a technique that involves organizing the tasks based on their importance and urgency. As a result, the fog of confusion lifted, and Emily could see clearly which tasks were essential. This strategy greatly improved her productivity and allowed her to lead her team more effectively. Then there's George, who was a habitual procrastinator. His mantra was, "Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow?" After recognizing that procrastination was the main enemy of his productivity, George decided to approach his tasks with a growth mindset. Instead of procrastinating, George used the Pomodoro technique, breaking work into 25-minute chunks with a 5-minute break in between. A simple tweak in his mindset was all it took to slay the dragon of procrastination. His productivity increased rapidly, and suddenly, across his life map, Everything seemed to be moving smoothly ahead. Our next champion is Mia. She was often distracted by her environment, which impeded her productivity dramatically. Like a moth drawn to a flame, Mia found herself sidetracked by every ting, ping, and ring on her devices. Mia knuckled down and decided to switch her mindset from distracted to laser-focused. Mia treated distractions as opportunities for training her focus, rather than viewing them as productivity woes. She gradually got more adept at zoning out the noise. As a result, she managed to supercharge her productivity and could work efficiently, even in the busiest of environments. Moving on to Peter, who struggled with balancing productivity and well-being. His persistent burnouts were hitting both his productivity and mental health. Peter decided it was high time to foster a harmonious balance between productivity and personal wellness. Adopting a mindful approach, Peter started taking planned breaks from work to refresh his mind. By shifting his outlook towards work and relaxation, he managed to not only boost his productivity, but also promote his overall well-being. In essence, shaping a productive mindset is like baking a miraculous productivity pie. It involves mixing the right ingredients, prioritizing time management, combating procrastination, curbing distractions, and maintaining a proper work-life balance. It's all about shifting your perception to make these elements work in your favor. And just like any star baker, the key isn't just stacking the ingredients, it's mastering the technique of blending them in a manner that brings out the best flavor, productivity. These success stories underline the immense potential that lies within us when we adopt a productive mindset. It's interesting to see that despite the different situations, every individual managed to increase their productivity by tweaking their perception. See, the mind is refreshingly flexible. It can swap sides from a detrimental doomsayer to a persuasive productivity promoter. As these cases demonstrate, a productive mindset isn't a mythical concept, it's a practical reality. Here we are, staring at the face of clear, diverse evidence that retooling the screws of your mindset can lead to a surge in productivity levels. And who knows, as you turn to the mirror one day, it might be your success story staring back. Chapter 4. Common Roadblocks to Productivity. Quick pop quiz, folks. Do squirrels and cats scrambling across your keyboard sound familiar? That's right, we're in the territory of distractions and procrastination, eh? The evil twins of productivity. And oh, they're just the tip of the iceberg. Even if you zap every feline intruder or ship your hyperactive mind to Antarctica, these insidious little buggers tend to pop up from nowhere. But fear not. You see, these are common productivity roadblocks, and a little digging will reveal they're definitely beatable. In fact, with some clever strategies, you could turn them into motivational Uber drivers, ushering you to your productivity destination. Intrigued? Good, because identifying and overcoming procrastination, no, it doesn't mean starting your work at 11:59 p.m., along with dealing with distractions, bye-bye Google homepage with your inviting search bar, are essential upgrades we're incorporating into your productivity software. Wink, wink. Identifying and overcoming procrastination. Pop quiz. What's second to only a leech when it comes to being an energy-sucking parasite? If your answer was procrastination, congratulations. You've identified the nemesis that we will be tackling head-on in this section. You see, procrastination is like an overgrown tomato plant. The more you feed it, the more it spreads uncontrollably, stifling productivity and fostering a mild sense of guilt. We've all experienced it. That nagging sensation urging you to see what's new on TikTok instead of powering through that project report. Don't worry, we've got the weed killer. While we're admiring our gardening metaphors, let's don the magnifying glasses and peer into the depths of procrastination. Where does it stem from? Often it's rooted in fear of failure, of success, or even change. There's also the "I'll do it tomorrow" syndrome. Here lies the illusion that future you will somehow be more equipped, motivated, or caffeinated than current you. Let's bust another myth while we're at it. Procrastination is not the result of a lack of time management skills. It's the result of poor emotional management. Nobody really procrastinates when it comes to eating cake, but we certainly do when it feels like a daunting task, don't we? Okay, enough with the problems. Let's unfurl the map to Productivityville. First up, Recognizing procrastination. This is relatively simple. Are you reading this while putting off another task? That's a bingo. On a serious note, it can be identified by last-minute scrambles to meet deadlines, incomplete tasks, a persistently guilty conscience, and the constant feeling of not getting things done. You know what they say, knowing is half the battle. The other half, beating it. Here are some tried and tested weapons in the battle against procrastination. Slay the dragon of procrastination by implementing the 2-minute rule. Essentially, if a task takes 2 minutes or less to complete, do it immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts. This helps productivity hit the ground running and sets the pace for additional tasks. Next up, use a productivity technique. Heard of the Pomodoro technique? Conceive tasks in 25-minute chunks separated by 5-minute breaks. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. It was built in many 25-minute increments, or something like that. Got a giant, intimidating task looming over you? Break it down. Sort it into smaller tasks. Like eating an elephant, you'd do it one bite at a time. Just kidding. We're not recommending you eat elephants. That's frowned upon and also illegal in most countries. Create a roadmap. Picture your task ending in success. What steps would it take to get there? Imagine every curve, every straight path, and every twist. Understanding the path to your objective makes it less daunting and easier to start. Finally, get real about your fears. Scared of failing? Congrats, you're human. Success is a series of great failures. Not getting started only guarantees a non-starter. You see, overcoming procrastination doesn't require a crash course in rocket science. It's about understanding its roots, recognizing its mechanisms, and using some practical, proven strategies to kick it to the curb. So let's summarize. Procrastination is a productivity serial killer disguised as your brain's misguided attempt to protect you. Recognize it, call it out, and employ these tools to tackle it, bouncing back like a productivity ninja. Remember, you're no longer the tomato plant's gardener, allowing procrastination to sprawl out and overgrow. You're the taskmaster with the weed killer, cultivating a landscape of productivity. With these tools, you can create your own flourishing garden of success, where the tomatoes are ripe and the procrastination is kept firmly in a compost bin. And remember, the smallest of actions is always better than the most grandiose of intentions. No more, I'll do it tomorrow. Let's just do it today. Dealing with distraction. Let's face it, we live in a world where distraction is the new normal. Your phone pings every time your Aunt Sally posts her daily cat meme. Emails flood your inbox, and don't even get us started on the constant temptation of social media. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, your ever-hungry colleague Kevin cooks up a popcorn storm in the microwave, and you're distracted by the smell, or worse still, the taste. So how do you keep your work flowing smoothly amidst these constant distractions? Distractions, whether they come from your physical environment or from your mental chatter, can seriously hamper productivity. But fear not, we've compiled some foolproof strategies that work like a charm. First off, be like a squirrel eyeing an acorn, single-minded focus. It's all about training your brain. We can't always control the environment around us, a la Kevin and his popcorn fiestas, but we can control how we react. The trick is to remain centered, acknowledge the distraction, but not let it divert you from your current task. Think Zen master level of focus. Clear the clutter, physically and mentally. Clutter on your desk is like a buffet of distractions, but here's the thing. Tidying up your workspace can be a distraction in itself. Try allocating specific times for cleaning, filing, and organizing, making it part of your productivity practice. Mental clutter, too, is a significant distraction. If your mind is swirling with grocery lists, weekend plans, and your next Netflix binge, it's going to be difficult to focus, no doubt. So let's get proactive and unplug those mental leaks. Write down tasks or thoughts on a piece of paper, or even the note app on your phone. This externalizes them, decluttering your mind and allowing you to focus on the task at hand. It's also a simple but effective stress reliever. It's like uncorking a bottle of fizzy soda, letting out the pressure, and allowing you to sip in peace. On multitasking, hoo boy, a terrible way to distract yourself. Sure, you feel like a superhero managing 5 tasks simultaneously, until you look back and realize none of them have been done completely, or worse, properly. Best stick to monotasking. Even if you feel you are accomplishing less initially, In the long run, the quality and completion rate is more significant. Creating boundaries using technology can be a lifesaver as well. Use website blockers, schedule do not disturb modes, and app limits to create an environment free of digital distractions. Let's be honest, we've all had those moments when a quick look at Instagram devolves into hours lost in the latest cat videos. Finding ways to avoid these tech traps can help keep you on track and preserve your mental energy. If you're someone who actually works best with some background noise, consider using ambient sound apps. Whether the sound of people chatting in a cafe helps you concentrate, or the soothing hum of a forest at sunset does it for you, use these tools to your advantage. On the flip side, if you find complete silence unnerving, a perfectly timed coffee grinder or a coworker's incessant keyboard typing can drive you to distraction. In these cases, noise-cancelling headphones can become your best friend. Try a pair, and you'll bump into a strange peace of mind that will make you more productive, we promise. Rework your schedule so that your most significant and vital tasks are done during your peak productivity times. Not a morning person? That's cool. Prefer to fire on all cylinders post-lunch? More power to you. Your productivity schedule should be as unique as your Netflix recommendations. Figure out when you're least likely to be distracted and aim to complete your most important tasks during this time. Adopt the 2-minute rule. If you're working and an unrelated task pops into your head that can be completed in 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. It kills the lingering thought and helps you quickly get back on track. For any task that takes longer, jot it down and schedule it for a more fitting time. Like a jaunty top hat worn at a wedding, incorporate humor into tackling distractions. Make light of things and allow yourself some whimsy. Turn distractions into a game. Award yourself points every time you successfully ignore a distraction and lose points every time you succumb. It will keep the process enjoyable and remind you that being productive does not mean being robotic. Finally, understand that our ability to focus is like any other muscle in the body. It needs to be exercised and strengthened over time. Getting distracted is natural and forgivable. What matters is finding your way back to focus and ensuring your distractions don't hijack your productivity. Distracted yet? Hope not. Keep these strategies in your arsenal for dealing with distractions. But remember, at the end of the day, being productive is all about finding balance. An occasional glimpse of Aunt Sally's crazy cat meme or Kevin's popcorn escapades may be just the break needed to maintain your sanity in a busy workday. After all work and no play makes for a pretty dull day. Chapter 5. Time Management and Productivity. Are you still with me? Good, because now we're diving into the irresistible tango between time management and productivity. You see, they're the all-star duo, kind of like peanut butter and jelly, if peanut butter made jelly operate at peak effectiveness, that is. When done right, effective time management transforms your efficiency like it's been kissed by some magical productivity fairy. But how? Let me tell you. By strategically laying out your tasks, you create a roadmap that nudges you to drive towards productivity at smooth cruising speed. It's kinda like you're directing your own movie, and time management is your golden screenplay. And just when you get a hang of this script, we introduce the spicy subplot that'll keep you on your toes. Prioritization. It's decision-making cranked up to 11. You'll cut through your tasks like a ninja, focusing on the most essential stuff first. It gives high fives to time management, belts out a power ballad, and joins the productivity dance. When you prioritize effectively, it's like putting a jetpack on your productivity. So let's get that rocket fuel ready. Time strategies for a productive mindset. We've all put in a full day's work, yet when the sun sets we realize we've accomplished little. Quite odd, isn't it? Especially while we've been buzzing around all day like caffeine-fueled bees. This puzzler is the equivalent of running on a treadmill at full speed while juggling flaming bowling pins and then realizing you haven't moved an inch. My fabulous friends, welcome to the pitfall of productivity. So, are we doomed to a life of hamster wheel existence? Heck no. We just need to get better at time strategies. And that's where we will start. First off, let's talk about time blocking. This strategy involves scheduling tasks directly into your calendar and considering these blocks of time as sacred non-negotiable appointments. It's a lot like how Dr. Frankenstein would have scheduled his time when creating his monster. From 1 to 3 p.m., I'll be attaching this arm. And then at 3:15 p.m. it's bring this monster to life time. Now don't jump into time blocking like a kid into a kiddie pool full of candy. Easing into it will be gentler on your system, and like chocolate cake, too much of a good thing too quickly can lead to discomfort and an unwillingness to try it again. Another tidbit about time blocking. It's best for tasks that require concentrated periods of focus. If you've got a ton of little jobs to take care of, batch processing could be more to your liking. It involves focusing on a group of similar tasks and knocking them out in one go. It's essentially like washing dishes from a feast fit for a king. You wouldn't scrub only one fork and then put the water away now, would you? Moving right along, let's get into the Eisenhower matrix, a useful tool if ever there was one. This nifty strategy involves divvying tasks up into 4 categories: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. It's like when you're at a buffet and you've got to decide between the shrimp, steak, tofu, and mystery meat. Life is full of tough decisions, isn't it? Along with these, you should keep your energy levels in mind. We all have those periods in the day when we're buzzing with energy and ready to take on the world, and then those other times when we feel like a blobfish. It's crucial to schedule your most demanding tasks for when your energy is at its peak. It's pretty much like saving your karaoke rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody for when you're really feeling the beat, and not for after you've had a large serving of turkey and stuffing. We've already mentioned the 2-minute rule. This strategy, borrowed from David Allen's Getting Things Done, suggests that if a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, you should do it immediately, rather than procrastinating. Yes, like how we all promise ourselves we'll floss this time after our dentist visit. Time to stop putting it off. Consider this, my time-loving pals. You've heard of the Pomodoro technique, right? This time management method involves breaking work into 25-minute intervals, separated by 5-minute breaks. It's like tricking your brain into getting stuff done by promising it a little treat. Those promising stretch breaks or bite-sized chocolate pieces can do wonders, trust me. Finally, there's always time for a little me time. Yes, even with all your productive hustle and bustle, it's essential to carve out some time each day for relaxation and self-care. Without it, you risk falling victim to burnout faster than butter melts on hot corn. So don't despair. You're not confined to that proverbial hamster wheel forever. There are numerous time strategies to adopt that can lead to a more productive mindset. Just remember, like exploring a new city or trying out a new hot sauce, trial and error are key. Leave no stone unturned in your quest for productivity, and who knows, you might just find your perfect fit. Next, we slide into the world of decision-making and prioritization. Get ready for the thrill of tearing through your to-do list like a race car through the finish line. But that's a tale for another chapter. So hold tight and get ready to delve further into the land of productivity. Prioritization and decision-making. Imagine standing in front of a buffet. You have an empty plate, an appetite, and limitless choices. The key to satisfaction? Good old prioritization and decision-making. You can't feasibly eat everything unless you have the stomach capacity of Superman, so you need to choose what you fancy the most. The same logic applies to productivity. You have several tasks, limited time, and boundless possibilities. Being productive doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing the right things at the right time. So let's dive into the art of making smart decisions and prioritizing effectively. First up, let's talk more about the Eisenhower matrix. This is not a sci-fi thriller, but a method used to separate your actions based on urgency and importance. Draw yourself a box, make a cross inside, providing you with 4 squares. Label them urgent important, not urgent important, urgent not important, and not urgent not important. Presto! You have a diagram to assist you in determining what needs your attention first. Remember though, this isn't a dinosaur movie, so we shouldn't always focus on the comets, the urgent and important. To avoid always lurching from one emergency to the next, you'll need to spend quality time in that not urgent important quadrant. This is where you can focus on high-value tasks that contribute to long-term goals, without the added stress of rapidly looming deadlines. You won't need to call 911 about overflowing inboxes if you're regularly taking preventive measures, right? Now, how about a little this or that sensation for decision-making? Introducing the choice matrix, this fancy-pants tactic mandates dividing your decisions into 2 categories, Those that are reversible and irreversible. Post-its or email reminders. Reversible. Moving across the country for a new job. More on the irreversible end of the scale. The trick is to spend less time on the reversible decisions and more time pondering the irreversible ones. You don't want to spend 6 hours deciding what to have for lunch. You've got more exciting fish to fry. But what happens if you have a big, juicy, irreversible decision to make and you're completely stumped? Well, one popular method is the pro-con list, just like the ones in sitcoms. It might seem like a no-brainer, but laying out the advantages and drawbacks of a big decision can provide clarity and insight. Just be sure to weigh each pro and con, not by how many there are, but by the impact. You might have 10 small cons and 3 big pros. Don't let numbers fool you. It's not the stock market, and we're not doing any sort of hostile takeover here. Just good old-fashioned brainstorming. Another crucial concept in prioritization is understanding your peak times. Everyone has a time of day when they are most productive. Perhaps you're a morning lark, banging out tasks with the sunrise, or maybe you're a night owl, ruffling feathers in the dark. Deliberately scheduling most challenging tasks during your peak times can be a game-changing tactic. Did you notice we still haven't talked about multitasking? Well, there's a reason for that. It's essentially one massive myth we've all bought into, because it sounds so darn impressive. Research suggests that, in reality, only 2% of people can effectively multitask. For the rest of us, it usually results in reduced productivity and an increase in mistakes. Don't worry, we're not asking you to juggle chainsaws here. Prioritizing the completion of one task before moving on to the next can often prove more effective. In addition, the act of journaling can work wonders for decision-making and prioritization. Writing down your tasks, big decisions and deadlines allows you to visually organize your thought process. You might not write the next great American novel, but you'll have a clear picture of your workload. Finally, it's important to prioritize some me time. Work-life balance is as crucial and elusive as a marshmallow unicorn, but curating time for relaxation or hobbies can actually increase productivity. Schedule it just like any other task. It's just as important as that sales report, if not more. Don't tell your boss I said that, okay? The moral of the story? Prioritization and decision-making are not just about working hard, but working smart. Being productive doesn't always mean being busy. It's about making the right decisions about where to focus your energy. Just like at the buffet, it's about choosing what's most satisfying, rather than trying to fit everything onto your plate. Chapter 6. Tools to boost productivity. Now we're cooking with gas. We've talked about cultivating the right mindset, beating those procrastination blues, and wrestling your time into submission. Now let's talk about supercharging all that with some handy-dandy productivity tools. Just as a carpenter wouldn't try to build a house without a hammer and nails, you shouldn't try to ramp up your productivity without the right tools in your toolbox. We're talking about project management tools, which can help you navigate the labyrinth-like journey of any big assignment. They're sort of like a GPS for your projects, with fewer wrong turns and much less swearing. Then there's productivity apps and software, modern wonders that can help you ramp up your productivity quicker than you can say, "Is there an app for that?" Spoiler alert, there's always an app for that. So put on your virtual tool belt and let's get to work. Project management tools. So you've mastered the art of focusing your mind, and your sense of time organization would impress a Swiss watchmaker. That's fantastic, and I'm definitely not jealous. But what's your next move, soldier of productivity? Well, hang on to those kicker boots and listen close. We're about to step into the dauntless realm of project management tools. Project management tools? Yes, forget those 90s ergonomic chairs and touchscreen coffee machines. The real McCoy in the productivity game is finding the right project management tool. Oh, you think you don't need one? Well, think again. It could be as useful as an umbrella in a rainstorm and way more fun. What are they exactly? Well, in simple terms, project management tools are just software designed to help you juggle different tasks and projects at once. They help organize, simplify, and effectively execute projects. Essentially, this software is like a Swiss Army knife for your productivity. These tools vary in complexity, from simple task tracking systems to high-level robust platforms capable of tracking and managing multiple mega projects simultaneously. They encompass various features, including task assignments, shared calendars, reporting systems, and communications tools. They're as flexible as a gymnast under the big top. They've been engineered to do the heavy lifting, so you don't have to break a sweat. They can keep tabs on task deadlines, update you on project progress, manage resources, and keep teams connected. Think of them as your handy sidekick in the battle against disorganization, much like Batman has Robin. So where do you start? With a whole smorgasbord of project management tools out there, it's easy to become overwhelmed. Here's a friendly piece of advice. Start by defining your needs. Are you solo, or do you have a team? Do you need a simple task manager or a multifaceted platform? It's like shopping for a pair of shoes. Pick the ones that fit best. Task management tools, as the name suggests, help you manage tasks. Sounds dull? Perhaps, but trust me, they can be lifesavers. These tools allow you to create, assign, and organize tasks, hence keeping you on track like a well-oiled productivity machine. Team collaboration tools are like coffee for your team. They stimulate communication, encourage sharing, and keep everyone in the loop. They offer a shared workspace where team members can chat, share files, and even trade bad jokes. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this kind of synergy. Agile project management tools, on the other hand, are like those fancy high-tech sports cars, fluid, dynamic, and adaptable. They're perfect for teams that work in fast-paced, changing environments. You know, kind of like how chameleons change colors to adapt to their surroundings. Creative in your work, visual project management tools could be your best pals. Instead of using boring old text, these tools utilize visuals like flowcharts, graphs, and infographics to map out your tasks. It's like watching an art film, but for work, which I promise is way more exciting than it sounds. Document management tools, meanwhile, are like super organized librarians who know where every book is stored. They assist in storing, organizing, and retrieving your critical documents. Perfect for those who have been told they couldn't find a needle in a haystack. Perhaps you are reading this and thinking, well, that all sounds peachy, but how on earth do I pick the right one? The answer is, you try them out. Take them for a test drive, see how they handle, and make sure they have all the features you need. When you do find the perfect fit, it'll feel like you've won the productivity jackpot. So friends, the key is this. In the wide world of productivity, project management tools are as essential as the basses in a rock song. Whether you're a solo performer rocking out on a Tuesday night, or an orchestra conductor trying to manage Symphony No. 5, the right project management tool can harmonize your work effortlessly. Through strategic use of these tools, you can transform your productivity from a weary slog through a murky swamp into an exhilarating sprint down a sunlit track. And remember, in the journey of productivity, project management tools are not just add-ons. They're the superpowered jetpack that propels you to the stars. In the end, my friends, productivity is not just about being busy. It's about being smart, working hard, but also working smart with tools like these at your disposal. And who knows, with the right project management tool lending a helping hand, you might even find some time to kick back and enjoy your favorite margarita. Now that's productive. Productivity apps and software. You've come a long way, friend, from understanding the brain mechanics at work to uncovering the hacks for effective time management. As we sail along this productivity journey, it's time to add some tech flavor. You know, sprinkle a bit of the 21st century magic to make this process a walk in the park. These days, there's an app or a software or a shiny new tool for just about anything you can think of, and productivity isn't left behind. But hey, the goal here isn't to throw a bunch of flashy names at you. We'll uncover the genuinely useful stuff, the ones that have the potential to turn your day into a productivity party. All right, let me pull a rabbit out of a hat and, drum roll, our first app is Trello. Among the countless project management tools, Trello stands out for its simplicity and effectiveness. Its design draws inspiration from the old-fashioned sticky notes, but on a digital canvas. Whether you're trying to keep track of household chores or manage a team project, Trello's visual boards and cards make project management a breeze. Next up, we have our nimble acrobat, Todoist. If Trello is our visual vibe, Todoist is the text-based counterpart. It's a simple yet powerful task management tool. It allows you to capture ideas, set reminders, prioritize tasks, and even delegate them if you're in a team. It's like a Swiss Army knife of to-do lists. Now we jumped the gun a bit with project management, so let's rewind to the realm of focus and digital minimalism. For those moments when distractions seem like a sticky bubblegum on your shoe, Focus at Will jumps to the rescue. Based on neuroscience and music psychology, it provides music tracks that can help improve your concentration. It's like having a personal DJ for your brain. While we're staring distractions straight in the face, let's bring out the big guns, the Stay Focused app. Ever wandered off to social media land when you should be working? Yeah, it's like a black hole. Stay Focused helps you stay, focused, by blocking distracting websites when you should be getting stuff done. It's the tough love you sometimes need. Speaking of being focused, let's talk about time tracking. Time is one of the most valuable currencies we have, yet it's easy to lose track of how we spend it. Enter Rescue Time. This app runs in the background, quietly noting which applications and sites you're spending your time on. At the end of the day, you get a nice, neat report. It's like your personal time detective, helping you identify where those sneaky minutes are slipping away. Now, if we're talking about productivity software, we can't skip the big granddaddy of them all, Microsoft Office Suite. It's like the Swiss Alps in the productivity seascape, standing tall with Word, Excel, PowerPoint and the newly added Teams. Hardly needs any justification, right? On the other side of the Office Suite coin, we have Google Workspace. Sure, it has Google Docs, Sheets and Slides, but the cherry on top, Google Drive. It's got the potential of a pack mule, hauling all your files and keeping them safe in one place. Say goodbye to losing stuff due to a crashed device. Whilst we're still in the Google ecosystem, let's not forget Google Calendar. It's beyond an ordinary date tracker. It's a nifty tool to visualize and manage not just your work, but your life tasks. And with gentle reminders, it's like having a personal assistant minus the hefty price tag. Moreover, if you find yourself juggling between too many apps and sites, Zapier can be your superhero. It allows you to create connections between different apps, automating tasks that you'd otherwise have to do manually. It's kind of like a magical concierge, taking care of the repetitive stuff while you focus on slaying the dragons. Are all these productivity tools making you excited or a bit overwhelmed? No worries, we've got an antidote. It's called mindful browsing. It gently asks, "Are you sure?" every time you're about to dive into a potential time-suck website. It's like having a wise old sage steering you back on your productivity course. And finally, Slack, the go-to communication tool for many teams. Organized channels, easy file sharing, great search feature. It's less "where did that file go?" and more "let's get stuff done." It cuts through the email clutter and boosts team collaboration like nothing else. Voila! Those were some of the top productivity apps and software that can boost your ability to get things done. Remember, it's not about having all the apps, but about having the right ones that work for you. Test them out, stick with what works, and discard what doesn't. After all, more doesn't always mean merrier. Now, granted that you can't just download productivity, but hey, if we can leverage some savvy tools to make the journey more fun and less cumbersome, then that's a big yes in my book. Chapter 7. Using AI for Productivity. Well, now the cat's out of the bag. The secret weapon in boosting productivity, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. You might think we're going all space age here, but in reality AI is as common as jelly beans these days. It's everywhere, from your smartphone autocorrect to recommendations on Netflix. And guess what? AI isn't just good for binge-watching shows and making your texts grammatically impeccable. The role of AI in productivity is enormous, and it's about time we take advantage of it. It's like having a digital butler, painfully organized and relentlessly efficient. It can manage your time better than a marching band on a parade. Those AI-powered tools can juggle the chaos of your multiple assignments and manage your projects like a general leading an army to victory. From here on in, it's not about just working harder. It's about working smarter with AI on our team. An introduction to AI and productivity. Now, we've talked about the power of your mindset and the effectiveness of certain tools to boost your productivity mojo. But what if I told you that there's a technology that can help you keep your productive momentum, even on days when you just can't fathom getting out of bed? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce my friend, artificial intelligence, AI. Before you imagine robots running your work life, let's get something straight. AI isn't just about robots and machine overlords. In fact, it can be as friendly and helpful as your neighbor Bob, who always seems to have just the tool you need to fix that pesky leak. Except AI can do much more. Now, AI is a pretty big deal in the tech world, but don't be fooled into thinking it's just for engineers and scientists. It's making waves everywhere these days, from your favorite music streaming service to that meditation app that always seems to suggest just the right soothing nature sounds. The key to harnessing the power of AI for productivity is to first understand what AI is, and then recognize its potential in your work life. Think of it as a superpowered assistant, always ready to lend a helping hand without requiring coffee breaks or vacation days. No need to dust off your old university textbooks or get a degree in computer science. Defining AI is simpler than you might think. Imagine you've just hired an assistant who never sleeps, makes zero mistakes, gets smarter over time, and works at lightning speed. That's essentially what AI is, a collection of algorithms and computational models that can handle hefty loads of data and make sharp decisions, faster and more accurately than a human. The fascinating part about AI is its ability to learn and adapt. Given the right kind of data, it has the potential to learn, evolve, and improve over time. Just imagine an assistant who gets better and better at their job the longer they're at it. Impressive, eh? But how does this translate into productivity? How can AI help take your productivity game to the next level? The role of AI in productivity is like a multi-pocket tool belt for your work life. It carries a wide array of applications that streamline tasks, automate tedious processes, and deliver insights you'd have missed with the naked eye. You know, those repetitive tasks that take up too much of your time and energy. Things like scheduling appointments, managing your emails, or organizing your files. AI can take care of all these tasks and more, saving you time and mental energy you can use for the tasks that truly need your human touch. But AI isn't just about automating tasks. It's also a whiz at data analysis. While you may be great at digesting information, sifting through massive amounts of data can be overwhelming and time-consuming. AI can process these databases more efficiently, providing you with intelligent insights that can help guide your decision-making processes. The real essence of AI and productivity, though, lies in collaboration. AI isn't here to replace you, but to assist and empower you. When humans and AI work in tandem, they bring out the best in each other. It's like having a superstar team, even if you're just a one-person show. AI empowers you to focus on tasks that require human ingenuity and creativity, leaving the mundane tasks, data analysis, and time management to the AI. This synergy brings about peak productivity. It allows you to work smarter, not just harder. AI is a powerful tool that we can wield to turbo boost our productivity. Given the right understanding, approach, and tools, it can act as a game changer in our journey towards optimal productivity. So are you ready to embrace the power of AI to level up your productivity? Trust me, once you've figured out how AI can benefit your work, you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. But for now, let's step into the fascinating, time-saving world of AI tools that's going to supercharge your productivity. Fire up your engines because we're about to take your productive powers to new altitudes. Stay tuned. Defining AI. It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a tree. But don't worry, this isn't a comedy sketch. Let's dive right into the ocean of understanding that is AI. So what is AI? In simplest terms, AI, or artificial intelligence, is the simulation of human intelligence in machines. These smarty-pants machines are programmed to think like us humans, learn from their experiences, and carry out tasks such as problem-solving or language translation. Just think of it as your nerdy cousin who can't stop spouting clever things, yet surprisingly, still needs guidance on what shirt to wear for a date. Now, before you start imagining Skynet and a massive Terminator-style apocalypse, remember AI is still just a tool, a very, very smart tool, but a tool nonetheless. Its purpose is to assist us, not replace us. Artificial intelligence comes in two flavors: narrow AI, which is designed to do a specific task, like voice recognition, and general AI, that can do any intellectually demanding task a human being can. At this point, it might be a little easier to think of AI more like your ever-efficient office assistant, keen to make your life a little less chaotic rather than an ominous T800. It may sound intimidating, and believe me, a little healthy respect for AI is warranted. But when we use it correctly, it can be as simplifying and powerful as swinging Thor's hammer to crack a nut. But more on that later. For now, just remember, artificial intelligence, at its core, is all about machines that mimic human thought processes, learn from their triumphs and mistakes, then improve themselves based on that learning. It's like if your coffee machine suddenly started making your brew just how you like it after messing it up a few times. Now, isn't that something? The role of AI in productivity. Every so often, we get to see a piece of technology that shifts the needle further in our quest to be more productive. Enter AI, the know-it-all, do-it-all tech whiz that showed up on the scene like the popular kid at school. If productivity had a party, AI is the guest that everyone wants in their clique. So what's the deal with AI and productivity? Here's a thought. Picture AI as your personal Jiminy Cricket, guiding you on your productivity path. It won't chastise you with a tune about conscience, thank goodness for that. But think about this. Having an around-the-clock assistant which identifies your unproductive habits, helps automate repetitive tasks, and optimizes your schedule sounds beyond magical, doesn't it? It's like having a genie without the need to rub a lamp, only this genie relies heavily on algorithms and less on blue magical smoke. But AI isn't just a bunch of ones and zeros magically telling you how to be productive. It's a bit of a Sherlock, with analytics being its magnifying glass. AI algorithms go through your information, looking for patterns and trends. These patterns can bring to surface your areas of inefficiency. Yeah, AI is the buddy who points out you spend 4 hours daily on social media. Tough love, but somebody has got to do it. So while AI can't make your coffee, it can definitely help you be more strategic about when to take the coffee breaks. Looks like our path to productivity just got a tech upgrade. AI tools to enhance productivity. To say that artificial intelligence has revamped the way we work would be an understatement. AI has catapulted itself into the heart of our productivity toolkit like a rocket, and believe me, it's more exciting than watching a cat video for the millionth time. AI is like your very own Alfred, catering to all your Batman needs but leaving out the black tie dinner. Embracing AI tools into our everyday work not only enhances productivity, but it's like getting a bit of your day back, which can then be utilized for all those activities you wanted to do, like starting that salsa class or finding out how many pizza slices are too many. Moreover, AI tools aren't a one-size-fits-all tool. They cater to diverse goals and professions. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur or a busy bee in the corporate world, there's always a new AI buddy waiting to help you out. So let's do a deep dive into this world of AI tools. First up would be AI chatbots. Chatbots. They're like your online customer service representatives but with less eye-rolling and more result-oriented responses. Companies have deployed them to not just handle customer inquiries, but for internal communication as well, ensuring real-time responses and effective information flow within the team. And hey, they even understand humor. Well, most of the time. Next, consider AI email filtering and prioritization systems. We all know how overwhelming a cluttered inbox can be. It's like wading through an ocean of unread emails, spam, and those incessant group chains that were probably outdated in 2002. And look, you found an important client email. Wait, nope, that's just another coupon from your favorite pizza place. Thankfully, AI has whipped up systems that can analyze emails, categorize them, not just by sender but by content too. Pretty amazing, right? Think AI can't be more glamorous. Try AI-powered project management tools. They can predict project timelines, assess risks, and prioritize tasks based on factors like importance and urgency, without batting an eyelash or in AI terms, with zero CPU hiccups. It's the equivalent of having a crystal ball that can predict your project's future with precise data instead of vague hocus-pocus. Now let's get a bit artsy with content creation AI. AI has equipped us with a baton to orchestrate a symphony of words. Sites like Articulo or Wordsmith can generate human-like text on any given topic, while Grammarly or Hemingway can proofread your content. Perfect if you can't prevent your fingers from breakdancing on the keyboard. Maybe it's getting a bit too hot in here, which brings me to the next AI tool, scheduling assistants. Meetings can be like a never-ending game of ping-pong, albeit less fun. Once you involve AI-powered scheduling tools, they can analyze everyone's calendars, propose a meeting time, and have it booked faster than you can say, "not another meeting." Yep, it's like every secretary's dream turned reality. Ever heard of AI-based CRMs? It's like having a photographic memory, but focusing only on your customers. These tools can analyze customer behaviors, purchase patterns and response times, accentuating your business decisions with a dash of customer delight. You're probably getting the hang of it now. But wait, there's more. AI is even creeping into team collaboration and coordination with platforms that seamlessly integrate AI assistants for quicker feedbacks or task statuses. Consider it as a smoother, less awkward water cooler conversation. In case you were wondering about data interpretation, AI can convert your data into appealing visuals, graphs, and pie charts, making information dissemination easier for your team than sharing a piece of cherry pie. Finally, I can ultimately reveal to you the secret of getting through the Monday blues: AI-powered time tracking tools. They can analyze work patterns, detect productivity leaks, and optimize your workflow more effectively than your standard issue cup of Java. Who knew adulting could be made so simple? Well, there goes the rundown of AI's productivity arsenal. Each AI tool adds a unique flavor to this massive productivity buffet. And remember, it's about exploring what suits your workflow and personal style. Like that time you tried pineapple on pizza. Remember how you thought it would never be a match, but ended up adoring it? That's exactly how these AI tools are. Unusual, unexpected, but downright delicious for your productivity. So go ahead, pick your slice, and savor the feast of productivity that AI brings. Chapter 8. Maintaining Productivity and Work-Life Balance. Ever noticed how you can't seem to run on caffeine and adrenaline forever without crashing? Damn it. Yeah, we're talking about the age-old challenge of maintaining work-life balance while keeping productivity high. Just like a heartbroken songwriter writing his best tunes after his latest love mishap, the real story starts after the honeymoon phase of productivity. To sustain this sweet drive, you need to maintain a balance, just like a stand-up comedian juggling punchlines whilst tackling sensitive issues. You're going to love this. Balancing productivity and well-being isn't about putting out the shiniest apples while you're rotting from the inside. Instead, it's about nurturing the tree of your life while enjoying a fruitful harvest humanly possible. Master the art of work hard, play hard, and keep that productivity high without draining self. Otherwise, you'll be as ineffective as a phone on battery saver mode. Techniques for sustaining a productive mindset are not about faking it till you make it. It's about the elasticity of stretching your potential without snapping. Remember, balance isn't something you find, it's something you create. Keep this in your diary, you'll thank me later. Balancing productivity and well-being. All right, we're getting close to the end of our journey, and what an adventure it's been, right? In this chapter, we're going to delve into something that's so incredibly important, yet often overlooked in the grand rat race of life: balancing productivity and well-being. It's not unlikely for someone to throw themselves into work, eyes on the prize, only to stop one day and realize they've been neglecting something crucial. Pretend that prize is a giant wheel of cheese. You've been running after it so long, when you finally turn around, you realize you've left behind your hydration, your well-being, way back at the start line. But why do we do it? Well, we're wired to pursue goals, to chase success. Yet sometimes we're sprinting so fast, we forget to tie our shoelaces and bam! We trip over, face first into the mud. Now, this isn't just a fall flat on your face metaphorically, but it can also lead to some pretty gnarly health issues. Who knew unbalanced productivity could be so dangerous, right? So how do we avoid this productivity pitfall? We need to establish a balance between our work and well-being. It's like being a circus tightrope walker, not too much on one side or the other. It's about being aware of your physical, mental, and emotional health while still pursuing those goals with gusto. Now you might be thinking, easier said than done. How do I even begin to balance productivity and well-being? Well, it starts, like many things, with self-awareness. Recognize when you are feeling overworked or stressed, and take active steps to address it. This could be as simple as taking a walk, meditating, or even just taking a few deep breaths. Can you feel that? the sweet sigh of your body as it relaxes. Ah, that's the stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not endorsing catnaps at your desk or closing your eyes at every opportunity. We need to be realistic. The aim is to work smart, not hard, preserving that cerebral cortex for the tasks that truly need it. Setting boundaries is a good approach to balance. It's like building a picket fence with a sign that says, "Beware of the dog." Set a stop time for work each day and stick to it. And your weekends? Make them sacred, my friends, sacred. A balanced diet and regular exercise also contribute massively to well-being. Imagine your body as a luxury sports car. You wouldn't fill it with low-grade gas and expect it to perform well, right? Similarly, ensuring you are fueling your body correctly and regularly moving it will help ensure optimal function. Remember, all work and no play does not make a productive person. Your brain needs time to relax and recover from activities. Interspersing work with leisure activities is an effective way to ensure this. Plus, who doesn't love a good sitcom binge or a hike on a sunny weekend? Lastly, strong social connections also play a critical part in maintaining your well-being. Regardless of how introverted you are, we as humans are social creatures. Regular interaction with family, friends or co-workers can do wonders for your mood and thus productivity. So, balancing productivity and well-being. It's not about compromising one for the other. Rather, it's about creating a harmonious symphony where each component shines in its own way, supporting the whole. Work hard, but respect your limits. Take care of your physical and mental well-being, and watch as your productivity breaches new heights. Remember, we aren't superheroes. Well, unless you've got a secret cape hidden away. Life is all about balance, the give and take, the work and play, the hustle and rest. Shifting your perspective to prioritize well-being along with productivity isn't just going to change the game. It's going to flip the entire board out the window, my friend. So the next time you find yourself sprinting towards productivity at the expense of well-being, take a step back. Think of that tightrope walker gracefully balancing atop a thin wire. We can all strike this delicate balance, and when we do, productivity won't be a chase, it'll become a dance. Techniques for sustaining a productive mindset. Only the most brutal fish scales would deny that sustaining a productive mindset is like grooming an unruly hedgehog. It requires dedication, patience, and sometimes a sturdy pair of gloves. But fear not, you don't need to wear gloves for this journey. We'll explore some foolproof strategies, along with humour akin to a stand-up show, to keep your productivity well-oiled and cruising down the highway at a law-abiding speed. Let's kick things off with the wonderful world of mindfulness. Scientists didn't just pull this concept out of a teapot one day. It's an ancient practice with modern relevance. At its core, mindfulness is all about being present, focusing on the here and now. By embracing mindfulness, you keep your mind's stray kittens, your stray thoughts, in check. This effectively helps you focus on your tasks and maintain a productive mindset. Think of it as a mental leash for your thought kittens. Next up, consider harnessing the raw power of an optimistic outlook. Not the flippant optimism of a cat with 9 lives, but a resilient, I'm hard to knock down attitude. Challenges and hurdles are an inevitable part of work and life, but an optimistic outlook allows you to view every problem as an opportunity to learn, bounce back stronger, and be more resourceful. This resilient mindset can be exactly the shot in the arm you need to keep productivity levels sailing smoothly. Nurturing a growth mindset is our third stop. Conceived by psychologist Carol Dweck, the growth mindset refers to the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort over time. It's the antidote to the fixed mindset that says, I'm just not a numbers person, or I'll never figure out this guitar tuning thing. Adopting a growth mindset encourages persistence and continuous learning, fostering long-term productivity. Fourth on our list is the importance of quality rest. It might seem like an eccentric oddity, like a duck on a trapeze, but rest is vital to staying productive. Regular breaks, ample sleep, and time for relaxation all contribute to keeping your cognitive gears from grinding to a halt. It's not slacking, it's an essential refueling process to enhance productivity in your waking hours. Next, consider the tactic of task batching. It's not about taking an actual bath with your tasks. Think of it as grouping similar tasks together to perform them all at once. This helps dodge the mental spaghetti of constant task switching, which often results in inefficiency. Give task batching a whirl and your productivity may just thank you. Now let's talk about the awesome power of delegation. If you're hanging on to every task like a hungry raccoon at a garbage can, stop it. Delegation isn't about whimpering, "I can't do it." It's about smartly distributing work to others who have the right skills or capacities, freeing you up to focus on your productivity power zones. Spoiler alert, you can't do everything, and that's okay. Healthy diet and regular exercise is number 7. Now don't scoff or eyeball your donuts with betrayal. Adding a bit of leafy green crunch, fruit sweet tang, protein power, and some kick your shoes off exercise to your daily routine can do wonders. It improves mental function, keeps you energetic, and aids in stress management, all contributing to a thriving, productivity-oriented mindset. Onward to number 8, learning to say no. Stop burning mental snacks on unnecessary commitments. Remember, every yes consumes your time, energy, and focus. So be selective, say no where it matters, and save your resources for what truly counts. 8th on our list is regular reflection and self-auditing. Take time to reflect on your work habits, strengths, weaknesses, what's working and what's not. This isn't a self-beating session, but an appraisal with compassion and kindness. Driven by clarity, you can make the necessary tweaks in your productivity game plan and ensure you're on the right path. Last but certainly not least, maintaining a life outside work can be a productivity game changer. Spending time with family and friends, exploring new hobbies or interests, or simply reading a favorite book can refresh your perspective, replenish your mental reserves, and keep those productivity engines humming. And voila, there you have it, some reliable techniques to sustain a productive mindset. Put them to work and ensure your productivity stays on point. Optimism, check. Mindfulness, check. Growth mindset, check. Task batching, delegation, reflection, life outside work, all checked. And now, onwards, my productivity prophets. Put these techniques to the test in your own life and see how they can boost your productive mindset. Conclusion. We've come a long, enlightening journey together. From cracking open the mysterious universe of productivity, perusing the labyrinth of our minds, breaking down the walls of roadblocks, to talking a walk with AI, we covered it all. But before we cross this existential bridge called the end, let's take a deeper reflective look. Productivity, as we've discussed, isn't just about moving fast or checking more items off the to-do list. It's more about moving in the right direction, ticking off the right items from that list. Remember, our trek started with defining productivity. It's dancing in tandem with your brain and learning to lead it in the right way. The mind-productivity connection is pivotal, folks. The brain is your proverbial golden goose. Nurture it right, and it becomes a bounty of efficiency and creativity. Embrace a productive mindset, and it will pour gallons of gold into your task jar. The magic potion called the productive mindset isn't hocus pocus, it's real, and it's powerful. However, as we explored in Chapter 4, there's no light without shadow. Procrastination and distraction are the banshees wailing in our efficiency utopia. They evoke the thrill akin to unveiling a jack-in-the-box, but remember, it's our perseverance and strategies that rebox these jesters. One of our superpowers is time management, the art of being the master of your own time. Prioritization, decision-making, they're more than mere words in a dictionary. They have the power to transform work life. They are the keys to unlock the door to productivity paradise. Oh, the thrill we shared while exploring the world of productivity tools. Be it project management tools or AI-based apps, these gadgets and software turn the chaos of tasks into an organized concert. Think of them like your all-rounder handyman, or even better, the Swiss Army knife of productivity. We even dabbled in the astonishing realm of artificial intelligence. AI is not just for superheroes in flashy suits. It's very real, and very much for us ordinary humans too. Imagine AI as your personal Alfred, if you will, making your life easier in ways you cannot possibly imagine. And let's not forget, we've been striving for a productive work-life balance. Keeping high productivity and maintaining an equilibrium with our well-being is like walking a tightrope. But with the right techniques, we've seen how it's not just possible, but a rewarding way of life. Now, here we are, basking in the glow of this enlightening journey. A new understanding of productivity has seeped into us, replacing all preconceived notions. But remember, this isn't the end point, but the start of a new beginning. You have the tools, strategies, and more importantly, the mindset, so go forth and conquer. The productivity beast is not a wild, untamable creature. It's a gentle giant, waiting for the right trainer. You are capable of being that trainer. With everything we've discussed, you are ready to command this giant to perform unimaginable feats. Now go on, show the world your productivity prowess. So tilt your imaginary hats, folks, because we just concluded this wild ride into the world of productivity. We've laughed, we've learned, got our hands a little dirty in the soul soil, and most importantly, we've grown. No need for tissues or waving handkerchiefs. This isn't a melancholic ending, but rather an inspiring, humorous, and formula-filled beginning. Use all the ammunition you've collected, use your heart and your mind, and let's make the world a more productive place than it was when we started. Before bidding adieu, let me emphasize that productivity is not a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. It's a tailor-made suit, cut to your unique size. Personalize it, and you'll be stepping out in style every darn day. Now off you go to paint your own productivity masterpiece. So long, productivity rock stars, until we cross paths again. Be bold, be brave, and more than anything, be productive. Today, tomorrow, and every single day. And remember, though we've reached the conclusion, this is just your beginning in the exciting journey of amplified productivity. Enjoy the ride.